I want to talk to you about something I saw last night. I'm not proud of the fact that sometimes I turn to Netflix in order to erase reality that is sometimes too much for me to handle. It's like a drug. Fortunately, I don't have a tendency to be addicted to substance. I'm not drawn to alcohol or drugs. Sometimes food, comfort, but not too much. So I turned to Netflix, and there's a series there called The Dark Window. The first episode fascinated me. That's the trick. It was about a woman. They show a typical day of her life, firing a worker in a high-tech company. A lot of people work in high-tech, especially in Tel Aviv here, so it's something you can relate. It's a lot of people I meet. And she fires a worker, and she's saying, "Oh, please don't fire me." She doesn't care. Then she goes on, and she lies to her boyfriend. She goes to a psychologist who's supposed to listen to her. And she comes home to her boyfriend, to whom she lied about where she was. She met her ex-boyfriend. And they turn on a TV, and there is her life. Somebody's portraying her life. So there's the mirror of all the things she's done to other people. And everybody she knows is watching this. And she doesn't know what to do. She can't hide behind her lies anymore. She's exposed. Fascinating. Okay, that was chapter 1. Chapter 2. The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you why. It was a script. I'm going to find out who wrote it. I'm going to find out who wrote it, and I'm going to report this person. No way in this earth that somebody who wrote a script like this is going to continue to work and produce content on Netflix with millions of viewers around the world, influencing minds, sometimes sick minds. So this is the script. The Prime Minister of England is giving an ultimatum. He has to perform sexual acts filmed live on a pig, or the kidnapped princess is going to be executed, the princess of the royal family. Of course, first they're trying to capture these people. They can't. And all I can tell you is there is no place on this earth for showing even fictional, not real. This isn't real. But to plant the idea that it's acceptable. It's called bestiality, I believe. Thank God they don't use the word phil. I think they do, actually. Zoophil, like pedophile, is a big lie. Phil means in Greek, love. A person that commits sexual acts against young children is not a lover of children. It's a sick, twisted person who abuses children. A person who performs sexual acts on an animal is a sick, depraved person who's a psychopath, who has no compassion. Animals are like 2-year-old children. They are helpless. They are helpless. And there are countries in this planet where it's actually, they have in Germany, that's what I heard a few years back, about 6 years ago when I lived in Europe, in Germany, they're looking at a law that would enable people to have sex with dogs. Now, there's so many things that are already permitted. And I'm not talking as a extreme right, conservative, I don't know. I'm just talking as a human being with, I hope, logic and a lot of compassion towards animals. Where is the red line? Don't you realize that there are people in this world who will watch this and actually think it's okay? Do you realize it? Try to substitute pig with a 2-year-old child. The Prime Minister of England has to perform sex with a 2-year-old child live on camera. Outrage all over the world. Netflix will take it down like this. Animals, no, because they don't have political power. Cats especially have no political power. Can you imagine that in ancient Egypt, these animals were worshipped? Because these animals are amazing. The more I know about cats, the more I'm amazed. And I've had cats, well, on and off since I was a young child. I'm always amazed at how amazing these cats are. If people like Jackson Galaxy on YouTube explains to people how to handle cats, how to understand them. They're the most misunderstood animal on this planet. They are hypersensitive. This animal will detect if you're ill, if you don't feel well. This is your number one friend. Not dogs, this. Pigs as well are highly intelligent. They have the same intelligence as a dog, and yet they are so abused. I don't want to get into details because it's too horrific. Just Google how animals are treated in the so-called meat, because it's not meat, it's dead body industry that is unhealthy for human beings. I'm not going to go on about why you should be vegan, because everybody should stop eating dead bodies. Talking about how we treat animals and how to take the abuse, sexual abuse of an animal and make it into entertainment. Netflix has crossed the red line, and we as animal lovers, and I'm talking about people that love these animals and want them to live in dignity without abuse, should contact Netflix and put pressure on them to take down that script and to find some sort of a legal way of suing that whoever gave the script the okay to continue for production. We don't need shows about animal abuse. That's the worst type of animal abuse. When you take an animal, you take away all its dignity, and then it's a model to take away the dignity of human beings, because that's how it works. If you abuse a cat or a dog, the abuse of human beings it's not far from you. I just had a neighbor who feeds cats and takes care of them, a mother of a young boy. And she takes the time. I've seen her with a baby go and feed cats. And she calls me, look, there's an emergency. Can you help me? I try to do whatever I can. I'm not as dedicated as her, I must say. If I find a cat, I take care of it. This is my only cat. But I try to help whenever I can. She just told me that there's a woman here who has 2 Rottweilers. Sorry if you like Rottweilers, but they're very strong dogs and they need a very strong handling. And it's abusing animals when you take a pit bull or Rottweiler and you put them in a very crowded urban setting with cats. My dog is not fond of cats either. There's no way my dog will go near a cat if I think she can harm it. And a lot of times she doesn't like cats. So I prevent her from going near cats. Now, this woman walks around with 4 large dogs in North Tel Aviv. And this woman had to witness how this dog, Rottweiler, killed a cat while the owner is trying to control it and cannot, because she has 4 dogs. She's walking at the same time. So why am I telling you all this? To explain to you what a rotten culture Western society has become. From worshipping cats in ancient Egypt to treating them like a mosquito. This is not a mosquito. It's a very highly evolved animal. Look, it's a moral question whether all animals have a right, but this animal is amazing. Highly sensitive, and it can be your best friend, can save your life. So many animals are the only friend an elderly person or a handicapped person has. They don't demand much, and people just don't understand them. This is why it's nearly impossible to find a home for a kitten, even though they're amazing and they're so easy to handle. They don't need a cat walker. They don't need a lot. They're not expensive. They don't need a lot. And yet people don't want cats. And if a cat is harmed, they look the other way. If a dog is harmed, it's something else. And let's go back to pigs, because I, by chance, participated in a demonstration against the pig industry in Israel. Pigs are treated in a horrible way in society. And, if one thing we can learn from Islam, and I'm sure there are a lot of things we can learn, they don't use pigs as food. And there's so many reasons for not using pigs. And the idea of showing someone like that committing sex with a pig on Netflix and nobody's outraged, it's time to make your voice heard if you care about animals, and tell Netflix to take down that show showing animal abuse. Have a good day.